Baby, I'm live now, by the way.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Are you asking me to do something?
No, I was just saying I'm live now, by the way.
You're what?
I was just telling you that I'm live, by the way.
Oh, sick. Okay.
I forgot to do that before, and now I'm doing it after the fact, and it's super awkward. It's
Nice.
fine. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Cocktail Hour Solo Hour. I am your host, Weebo Jones, and with me tonight is my booze. Hang on, let me fix this so that I'm not looking above you or weirdly below you. I don't know. The way that my camera, and I need to fix my shirt. The way that my camera has been set up and the camera itself has kind of been annoying for me. I recently just completely nixed the autofocus feature that the software comes with, so hopefully that will assist in all future filmings, because what I noticed when I was editing the video that went live today for patrons and members was that, and also what I've noticed over the course of the last several months that I've been using this webcam is it likes to blur in the middle of just me filming. I don't know why, I don't know how. It does, it's got a mind of its own, and the only way that I can fix it is if I fall off camera and come back and then it refocuses. So the autofocus feature is shit. And I've suffered for it long enough, so now I'm turning that off and I'm just going to deal with this. Anyway, so. Looking down on her, we call it camera mode. What a pro. Well, I gotta make, I need attention. I am an online thought. Therefore, I am in need of all of the attention. Give me 1 second to open up the Streamlabs. Oh, I did not spell that right. I really should hyperlink it, or not hyperlink it. I should bookmark it so that I can find it really easily and I don't have to type it every single time. But I haven't done that yet because I'm a dum-dum. So I'm going to do that right now. And it's going to go on the actual bookmarks bar. And it'll just be Streamlabs, and that's it. Okay, there we go. Before I go any further, since Polly's not here, I would just like to thank the next 6 minutes for the donation he put over on the Streamlabs 2 hours ago. Hope your backside has no new towel welts. Anyhow, looking forward to the new stuff. Enjoyed your last video. Would love to hang out with you and Polly sometime while I'm on vacation. In the meantime, sub to Weebo, everyone, if you haven't yet. Okay, so that needs some explanation. And, well, I will give it to you. Let me just right quick pull it up because I made this post yesterday. And of course, I've made a whole bunch of other posts since then, so obviously everything gets super lost. But here is what he's talking about. So on Twitter yesterday, I told the world that I said, you'd be pleased to know that I have authorized El Boyfriendo to deliver one painful wet towel whipping to my person in the event that the October video has not been published to the main channel by cocktail hour time tomorrow. And it's been published. It is, as I said earlier, live to all members and patrons currently. I am right now working through all of the sources and trying to format them in the way that I'm satisfied with, because right now they're a hot mess. Everything is all over the place. All the hyperlinks are the expanded versions that come default from the website instead of the bit.ly shortened versions that I like to use because it shortens the amount of characters that I put in the description. And then I also I need to come up with a list of tags to put into the tag system. And after that, and after about 24 hours, however long it is that I usually keep the video unlisted, after a day or so goes by, I will make it live to the rest of the public. So there's that. And I gotta say, I know that I promised that this video would be out on or around the 1st of the month, which was October 1st, 23 days ago technically, because it's October 24th. I know I said that. And then I decided to switch the topic of the video, like 5 days before the first of the month, thinking that, oh, I can get this out, no problem. Neglecting to remember that Takeout Weekend was coming up. And that it was the topic that I chose, which I'm not going to divulge it now, but the topic that I chose to cover was a developing one. And so midway through the whole process of putting everything together, shit switched up on me, and I had to really quickly, revamp some shit. So, not everything that I did previous to that got scrapped, but I had to rework the video completely. And I don't know, that was just super discouraging. So, that coupled with family obligations, coupled with some other family important issues that were definitely IRL before URL situations, that got the video way pushed back into the later half of October, so closer to when I would be posting the Halloween special, which I am still intending on doing. But at this point, it's up in the air whether or not it will be a live stream or if it will be a video. So I have all of the material. I just need to script everything, and then film everything. And I'm hoping to film by Wednesday and then have it up on the channel by Saturday night, live for patrons. But if the last couple of months has been any indication, that's not going to be the case. So we'll see. Now, I have also authorized El Boyfriendo to deliver one severe towel whipping to my person in the event that I don't get the video out by October 31st. So, there's a possibility that he won't have to do that. But there's also a possibility that he will have to do that. So, we'll just have to see. Anyway, that's a roundabout way of saying the video is live to those members and patrons that are a part of the community, that pay me money monthly, that get access, early access, and then their names in the not in the description, but yes, in the description, but also in the end credits. Anyway, thanks for the bearded towel whipping in a good way or bad way. I'm talking like it's gonna be a wet tip towel right to my keister. It's gonna leave a significant welt. It's not gonna be a fun time for me. All right, so. It's literally like not self-flagellation, but self-flagellation by proxy for not doing things. I have to essentially. I'm at the point in my life where I need greater motivation than myself to do the things that aren't imperative to live, that get pushed back to like the exhausted Weebo's docket. So, yeah, such a fun time. Anyway, I'm excited for the Halloween special this year because it's different, but it's the same. It's different, but it's the same. It's focused around Halloween and all of the things that like to come out during Halloween times. All of the different opinions that like to come out during Halloween times. But it's different than previous years. So there's a cultural appropriation element to it, but with a twist. So I'm intrigued. Anyway, so tonight I am drinking, what am I drinking? I am drinking a Goose Island brew that I've never tried before, and I only have one of. So if I really like it, I'm gonna have to go find more of it. But it's essentially Goose Island SPF ale with natural passion fruit flavor, and it smells really good. I don't usually like Goose Island beer, but it doesn't say that this is an IPA on it, so I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. Now, if it turns out that I don't like it, I will go grab something else from the fridge. Maybe. Hopefully. We'll see. Anyway, let's try it. I don't hate it, but it's a little bit less, how do I say this? It's a little more water than I'd like it to be, probably because I fed it ice cubes. So that's my own damn fault. What are you gonna do? I'll just have to drink it anyway. Maybe I can find something to mix it up with. Yeah, I use this on my fingernails, and they're my fingernails, so it's not a big deal. This is so classy, isn't it, people? Oh yeah, we love to see it. All right, I'll watch that later. I am great. Yes, you're right. Polly is running late, and we did not have a prior discussion about tonight, so I don't know where he is. I am assuming he's dead in a ditch somewhere. And I'm hoping that's not the case, because like I said in previous iterations of Cocktail Hour, I've said things like where Polly better be, and then that's been the case, and I'm left feeling guilty for what I said, but I don't think that's the case tonight. At least I hope not. Knock on wood. But if it is the case, then I'll let El Boyfriendo towel with me. All right, there we go. So in the event that Polly doesn't come around, I think I have articles. Maybe. Maybe. Or we can just have a hangout, have a chat, have a good old time, boys. Give it 3 days. He'll be back. I hope so. I can't carry a show by myself. Who do you think I am? Adonis? Paul? I think not. It's not like I would have anything super interesting to say. I spent the entire day looking at a computer screen, editing this video to get it out to you by today so I wouldn't get towel whipped. So, I am, so out of the loop right now. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. I do think, though, that I need to, dial it back and be less ambitious about the topics that I cover because, well, you see, I have over encumbered myself. I do that, frankly, way too often because I think I can take on, this big, huge, voluptuous project. And then it comes to the point where the rest of my life hits me at the same time. And the problem is I'm tired all the time. I am exhausted. I'm busy working 9-hour days most days. And when I'm not working 9-hour days, I'm working at home and putting the house back together and cleaning and taking care of the kitties and making food. I need to learn how to delegate better, but I also need to learn how to take less on. And I need to learn how to be okay with a little bit of mess. Not everything has to be super perfect all of the time. Not that it is perfect all of the time, or it has ever been perfect all of the time. But I need to lighten up. I really do. I really do. It's not the end of the world if the kitchen counter isn't spotless. It's not like you can see the goddamn thing. By the way, the kitchen counter is seen better decades. Trying to figure out what my shirt says. World of Outlaws. So, World of Outlaws. Thanks for the bearded. The World of Outlaws is the greatest show on dirt. Essentially, if you are familiar with sprint car racing, which is not anything like NASCAR racing, aside from the fact that the vehicles have 4 wheels and they do go around in circles for several laps. It's a dirt track where all the wheels are different sizes, and the cars that have wings attached to them to create a more aerodynamic wind tunnel kind of effect that allows them to go around the track at 200 miles an hour. And it's loud, noisy, obnoxious. My family loves going to the races every single year. And it's just one of those things that we do as a family is we tailgate the whole weekend and we sit in or sweat in grime from the races the night before, and we eat brats and other such delectables that you would put on the grill. And it's a good time because you're camping and all that jazz. It's a really good time. I really enjoy it. It comes every July. And we did have a race this year, so that's when I got this shirt. But yeah, so I don't really go so much for the racing as I do for the actual company of it and the atmosphere of it. Because it's very relaxed. It's like the one weekend a year where you can just dejectedly squat. And I do. And it's so nice to take a load off. All you have to do is drive there and then pack up and leave the last day. It's great. Never done anything like that. Well, it's not for everybody, but it's definitely one of those things that once you do it and you know you like to do it, you will go out of your way to do it. Like, hands down. Ray Jacobson says, seriously though, what do you need help with? Well, you know what I could use is better. I could use a separate room for filming in. Is one aspect of it. I have to kind of film around El Boyfriendo's schedule. And because of that, like, I can't film when he's in here, otherwise the microphone picks up everything and it ruins the sound quality. Not that it's been stellar every single time anyway, but it's just another thing that I'd have to edit, and that is a whole hullabaloo. The cats are perpetually trying to get into the room as I'm filming, and so that's another thing. You can actually hear the cats scratching on the doors while I'm trying to film the video that I posted today in some of the segments. So background noise is an issue. The fact that this room is fucking hot as fuck is another issue too, because how the hell do you stay cooped up in a room that is like 80 degrees without any like relief and sit and edit continuously? I don't have that level of capability in me. Yeah, you know what I need is I need need to move into a house already. House with a nice office space for just me and all my shenanigans. With proper air conditioning, not this forced air nonsense from the window or the wall. And what else? Like an actual studio for myself. What else? Oh, a better camera. I could use a better camera. Because apparently this thing, unless the autofocus being off improves the quality is shit, even though it's a 4K camera. Like, it should not be doing what it's been doing to me. So hopefully that issue fixes itself after me having turned off the autofocus. I don't notice that there's been a problem so far, so fingers crossed. I might have just taken care of one of my other issues. The other thing is Premiere Pro has not been my friend the last couple of times that I've tried to edit videos on it. So what happens is I'll be in the middle of editing this big long project and it'll freeze up on me. And I can't do anything on it because it's frozen. Like, how am I supposed to do anything? And that's a problem. And then it'll quit on itself and it will go back to the last saved piece of the video. Now, if I haven't saved for a while, I just undid all of that work that previously got done, and I need to start back from the last saved space, which is not only super depressing and disheartening for the editing process, it's definitely demotivating. Like, it makes me want to do the thing less. But what makes up for that, actually, I think, is like right now, I feel I have this like little high, this tiny little ball of excitement in my belly because I finished the video. I'm happy with the product. It's uploaded to the channel. I don't have to worry about this video ever again. I don't have to touch it in the editing bay ever again. Fingers crossed, no one finds anything wrong with it. Then I have to drastically edit. So that's nice. Oh, the other thing too is because I hold myself to such possibly high standards during the editing process. Like, for instance, these most recent videos, I have gone all out with the editing and with the features that I include in it. Specifically, the most time-consuming aspect of the videos is the underlying music track that I've been putting into the videos. And that's to kind of create the atmosphere and mood that I'm going for with these videos. Finding royalty-free music that I don't have to buy a license for so that I can monetize it without having to pay for the license is a pain in the ass. Specifically finding the thing that I want to put in the thing that sounds good, matching up the sound that I want with the tone that I'm going for. Struggle, man. It's a struggle, but I got there eventually. So I've been progressively, as I've been doing these more and more, I've been building up a backlog of music content so that I don't have to look as much. The problem with that is, I will need to keep a log of the music that I use and who makes it, the creators and the credits that go for those music pieces. I do need to keep a log of that, and I haven't quite figured out how to go about doing that yet. I could just have a Google Doc with all of that listed, but I don't know. Yes, Technomax is a marvelous resource for that, but he doesn't have everything that I want. Unfortunately, Grace Jacobson. I love his channel, but like I said, he does not have everything that I could want in a music creator that makes royalty-free music. He's great, and I used him for a while. He was my sole music creator, but I figured very quickly that I need to widen my array of music because I don't want to just use everything the same music all of the time. I want variety because you guys deserve it. And also, I owe it to myself to put more effort into these projects that I'm spending an enormous amount of time on anyway. Anyway, what else? What else really grinds the process to a halt? Yeah, so Premiere Pro closing on me spontaneously and undoing all my current progress. That's a big one. That's a real big one. But other than that, I don't have a shortage of topics coming to my brain when it is that I'm doing this. It is that I'm using to create content. I have a bunch of content, and I have some planned all the way until like middle of next year. It's just a matter of sitting down and grinding it out. I distract myself entirely too much with other little side projects that I know I can knock out and have done in a couple of hours. So I need to get better at that. And part of my way of getting better at that is having a boyfriend to hold me accountable by threatening to towel whip me. So that's where we are now, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, where is that dub boy? You know, I wish that he had. I wish that he wasn't always perpetually set to offline. Unfortunately, he is, so I can't tell if he's like gone for hours or gone for a few seconds or what up. But yeah, if he doesn't show up in the next like 6 minutes, I'm declaring an hour-long episode of Cocktail Hour where it's just you and me, and we'll go into question time. How's that? Sound like a good time? All right. Pete Hunt said, just heard the news about Gunther. So sad. Who's Gunther? Gunther who? I don't know. Gunther. Yo! That Gunther? No! No! Okay, so for those of you who are unfamiliar with Gunther, Gunther from Friends was a recurring side character on Friends in love with Rachel, Jennifer Aniston's character. in love. He was the, I think, owner of the coffee shop that they frequented so often. And yeah, Gunther is gone now. Oh my god, that's big sad. Big sad. I'm gonna cry. What's this nonsense? Okay, let's watch this. I don't care if I get what do you call it? Gunther on Friends, James Michael Tyler dies at 59. Fuck me up, Buttercup. That's so sad. Okay, here you go. Oh, well, you guys can see all of my other shenanigans that I'm working on. Oh, well, what are you going to do? Turn it up so you guys can hear it. Hopefully I can hear
I was first diagnosed with prostate cancer in September of 2018. If there's one piece of advice that I could give men out there to avoid where I am today, specifically, is get tested. Ask for a PSA test. My specific cancer went to the bones before it could be stopped, before I realized I had it. There are people working on this around the clock, around the world. And the Prostate Cancer Foundation, PCF, they do wonderful work, absolutely critical work to find a cure for this pretty terrible disease. And I can tell you, you do not want to go through what I've had to go through the past 2.5 years. I accept this. I know this is what's happened to me. I'm not sitting here crying all the time. I want to save lives. I want to help. And the worst part for me was I ended up in intensive care. I nearly died this past October. And the fear of not coming back to see my wife, not being around, my friends.
I'm gonna cry.
I wish I'd gone in earlier. You know, it's nobody's fault, but yeah, if you want to stick around, get tested.
Shit. I'm gonna fucking cry. Sorry. Shouldn't get emotional like this. My dad, he was 59. My dad's 60. Like, okay. Gentlemen. We need to have a talk. First off, before I get into my whole like Weebo PSA thing, James Michael Tyler last moments before death. It's such a clickbaity title, but I feel like it works for the message that they're trying to push, which is to get tested, right? So we know that men, gentlemen, most of my subscriber base, you guys have a tendency to white knuckle it through a lot of issues, emotional, physical, or otherwise. That's just, we know this. This is a known trait to grin and bear it, essentially, of the male sex that is typical. It's probably one of the only things that I really agree with. Is it fourth wave feminism that we're on now? It's one of the only things that I really agree with fourth wave feminists about in terms of toxic masculinity. Because there is such a push for men to be these unmovable, not having any issue, not perfect, but like stoic and unyielding kind of people. And I know I'm like blanketing this here. It's not that I am generalizing all men, but it is a large enough proportion that it is somewhat of an issue that I feel does need to be pointed out, because I want you guys to stick around as long as possible. That's the long and short of it. Is if it can help save your life, why not? And part of the issue is that men don't go to the doctor as often as women do. Like, if something is wrong, they white knuckle it, as I said. They don't tend to gravitate towards being worried enough to think, hey, maybe I should see a professional about this. What if this happens? It's not just it's in my experience not something that comes to mind initially, or it's something that's avoided generally. But it could save your life. Like, for me, one thing that I know is something that I have that is a risk is my mother had breast cancer. So she survived, yes, and it wasn't like it was horrific. She still has both of her titties, but that is something that I am predisposed to genetically. Well, probably genetically. I actually haven't had the test yet. I've been thinking about it, but I haven't actually gotten the genetic testing done yet to tell me whether or not I'm at risk. Now, I have been thinking about it. Part of the thought in my thought process has been, do I want to know exactly what it is that I'm at risk for? Or do I just want to be hyper aware of my health and cognizant of issues and handle them as they come? Am I the type of person to ruminate on the risks that I face as I go throughout life? You know, these are the things that you have to weigh before you get more information about what your genetics hold, just in general. So that's one aspect. The other aspect is, of course, you know, if you feel like there's something different or something sketchy, don't ignore it. Like, your body, if it's telling you that there's something wrong and it's persistent across days and days and weeks and months, don't ignore it. It's obviously not going away, so you should probably see someone about it. And this is a thing that a lot of people struggle with, whether or not it's because it's a pride thing or because it's a laziness thing, or because it's a money thing. People hesitate to address these issues for a plethora of reasons. And yes, it is predominantly a male problem. Not that it's unique to males, but it is predominantly more of a male problem than a female problem. But it's something that affects you. It can be detrimental in the long term. It affects your family members and the people that you love as well, because they also have to watch you go through it if indeed it comes down to there is something horrifically wrong with you. So I guess the Weebo PSA that I'm getting at is, don't be shy about using and about using the medical system that we have in place, about getting tested if you feel like something's wrong, about being cognizant and hyper aware of the issues going around in your body. Have enough internal and emotional intelligence to be like, hey, all right, let's self-assess. What's going on here? Does this warrant a doctor's visit? If yes, if it does, get her over there. Yeah. I know it can be scary. I know it can be a massive time issue, but make time. Get over that fear, because goddamn, 59 years old. That's young. People, that is so young, and he could have probably survived if had been caught earlier. Yeah. That's my Weebo 2 cents of the night. Yeah, I think to my... Oh, you know what? It's ironic. I'm the one saying, go to the doctor if something's wrong, when I'm less than 2 weeks out from this little incident right here. You see, ladies and gentlemen, that's the reminder of what happens and why you should wear gloves when handling broken glass. Marcin Johansson says, also change doctors if your doctor has a predisposition to steer the visit to their goals and interests. That's another thing too. Okay. The other thing that I agree with, I don't want to say I agree with the feminists on it entirely, but what I will say is that I do think that doctors have a tendency to think they're smarter than their patients, which, okay, yes, they know more about medical information than I ever will, obviously. Duh. But they don't know my body specifically and what's normal versus what's not better than I do. So there's a balancing act there where the patient has to trust that the doctor knows what they're talking about, but the doctor also has to trust that the patient knows what they're talking about. And if there is no equalness there, if the patient feels like the doctor hasn't done enough to investigate the issue that the patient is having, or the doctor thinks that the patient is just being hyperbolic about the issues that they're experiencing, that's not a good combination, and one of the two should drop the other. Something's wrong there. I don't know if I've ever told this story on this channel, but it took me, so age 16, I'm having menstrual issues, right? And that should not be happening. I am 3 years settled into my menstrual cycle to the point where everything's been running like clockwork, month to month to month, for the past like 2 years. Now, what they tell you in sex ed is, or what you should know as a female in sex ed, is that your menstrual cycle, as it's beginning, it will be a little bit wonky, fucky. So when you first start, the first like year or so, sketchy as hell. There's no steadiness. But as you get older, as you get farther away from puberty, and the hormones start to ebb and become more stabilized in their output, things normalize, things equalize. So everything runs on a schedule, or it should, assuming nothing else is going on in your body, to your body, in your life, that's would cause them to go haywire again, which is entirely possible, no doubt. So 13, get your period, me, and then a year later, it stabilizes. 2 years, it's been stabilized, it's been steady, it's been constant. But 2 years after that, things start going shitty. I go see a doctor. They're like, oh, you just need birth control. It's a puberty thing. And I'm like, keep in mind, I haven't grown since I was 13, and they're telling me that I'm still in puberty. Which, yes, sure, whatever. But what more development do I need to go through as a 16-year-old who hasn't grown an inch in 3 years and who has D-size, D-cup bra sizes? I'm a fully fledged woman at that point. Nothing else is happening. So anyway, first doctor tells me that, prescribes birth control pills, writes me off. Bye-bye. And I'm like, okay, this is fine, but it's still happening. The issue is persisting. Nothing's working. So I go see the doctor again. And this time, the doctor can't meet with me, so I see a nurse practitioner. The first doctor was actually a dude, by the way, which was really super uncomfortable for me to be 16 years old, going to the gynecologist's office for the first time, and having some random guy that I've never met take a look-see at my coochie. Uncomfortable, yes, very. So I'm kind of grateful that it's a nurse practitioner, but it's also a nurse practitioner. I'm not sure what that means, but it does not sound like a gynecologist. It does not. Anyway. So I'm seeing this nurse practitioner, and I'm telling her, and I'm explaining to her what's up, and she goes, oh, it's fine, it's nothing, it's not a big deal. It's just puberty. So I'm like, okay, 2 people are giving me the same opinion, but I don't feel like they're really listening to me when I tell them that, hey, I'm not going through puberty like that anymore. This is something different. This doesn't seem normal. I'm bleeding for 12 straight days. I can go anemic. This is a problem. Like, it's a problem. Anyway, so this process repeats itself a couple more times. When I go see a different doctor, they have the same opinion. And I go see a different doctor. They have the same opinion, but they prescribe me a different brand of birth control pills. And these ones fuck my shit up. Like, absolutely. I am a hot mess. Can't stop crying for absolutely no fucking reason. It's bad. It's so bad. And they tell you, stay on these pills for 3 months straight, and then your body will normalize and things will be right again. Like, it takes 3 months to get things back to an equilibrium. I can't last more than 5 days on these pills because I feel so bad. And there's no other explanation for why it is that I'm this emotional. None whatsoever. So I go cold turkey on the birth control against the advice of my doctor, against the advice of my father, who tells me, hey, you should just listen to the doctor. And I go, no. I make the executive decision to cut it, and I feel immediately better, like, the next day. Not a single tear was shed after that. And so I get a recommendation from my current gynecologist. And I'm telling her exactly what's the issue, what the problem is. And immediately she goes, yeah, that doesn't seem right. That seems a little bit strange. Like, you should not be bleeding 12 straight days at your age for as long as you've had, as you've been in puberty, or for as removed as you are from the onset of puberty. Let's figure out what's going on here. So she orders an internal ultrasound, which is essentially where they take the big long wand stick and they shove it up your coochie and they have a look-see around. So basically, instead of going over topside with the ultrasound stick, they go inside. And oh, it sounds so weird retelling the story now, but it was a little bit uncomfortable. But what we found was that there were cysts on my ovaries, which, ladies and gentlemen, is not normal. Is a little bit of an unorthodox situation for a woman's reproductive system. Yeah, so the cysts on my ovaries were causing my ovaries to give off hormones willy-nilly, like at a really wonky rate, which would affect my cycle, which would affect the amount I bled, if I did or if I didn't. Like, that would explain all of the issues. Thank God she doesn't have any visual aids. I mean, imagine imagine this, but a lot longer and a lot thicker. God damn it. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, the moral of the story is, if you feel like your doctor isn't listening to you and they're not taking you seriously, chances are they're not, and you should go see another doctor. That's the moral of this story, okay? That's my roundabout way of saying, find a doctor that works for you. It's a very poor visual aid. I'm aware. I know. This is the only thing that I have. Okay. This, but thinner and a lot longer. It's got a tiny little camera at the end of it. Anyway. So get yourself some medical shenanigans. That's very important. Take care of yourself. We want you around for the long haul, all right? That's where this is all rounding out to, okay? All right, so I'm going to go back a little ways away. To earlier in the chat. Or actually, you know what? If you guys have a question for me, ask it now. We have another 15 minutes until the end, and then up until I'm going to call it, and then finish working on the sources list, and then hopefully get some head start on the Halloween special script. So Zombie Teddy, ovarian cysts are more common than what you think. With all the food additives, I'm surprised there isn't more cases. Actually, you know what I recently decided to clean up my diet a little bit so that there's less shenanigans in what it is that I eat, to hopefully, because there's no cure for PCOS. As far as I'm aware, there's no cure, there's only treatment of the symptoms. So I have taken it upon myself to see if I could cure myself by eating better, because I think one of the things that definitely helps to alleviate PCOS symptoms is weight loss. And I am a little bit heavier than I should be at 5'2" and 23. But not anything too grotesque in size. I'm not a Langwell. I'm petite enough with curves. I would like to be a little bit smaller though. But the difference between where I want to be and where I am currently isn't a whole lot. I mean, there's definitely a visual difference, but it isn't a whole lot, but it would be significant in the health aspect because it would enable me to be healthier, but also it might combat the issues that I'm having with the cysts, part of the thing that exacerbates the symptoms is carb intake and glucose levels. So, you sent me a mic. Oh, Holly said he can't get his mic to work. Even on his potato, I think it might have given up the ghost. Do you have a pair of headphones? Headphones with a mic? Polly is not fired. He can come back. Guys, donate to Polly in the Discord, or not Discord, in the description so that Polly can get himself that fancy new microphone that he so desperately wants. All right? Good. I think it'll take $600 million, but I think we can get there. So sad. So sad. Polly's missing this lovely conversation about internal health struggles and polycystic ovarian syndrome and vagina sonar. Where was I? Oh my god. I just got totally sidetracked, derailed. Unfortunately, we miss you, Polly. That's what I'm going to say. What was I going to say? Oh, I was in the middle of something. I know I was. I know I was. What was it? I have no idea. See, this is why you can't trust me to do things and stuff by myself. This was a deeply probing conversation. Indeed it was. Oh, yes, dieting. Right. So if I clean up my diet, there is a probability that I will be able to mitigate the symptoms or wholly eradicate the cysts on their own. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I do feel better, though, after having eaten better. And I'm thinking about it, but I haven't decided upon it yet. But I'm thinking about doing this 6-week kickboxing challenge, where essentially someone would be poking me with a gigantic stick, telling me, "Hey, Weebo, exercise, do more cardio, eat better. Are you eating better? Weebo, gotta post your accountability pictures to the Facebook group. All right, Weebo, come on, Weebo." Anyway, I'm going to go in for a trial class on Tuesday after work. See if it's something that I would enjoy. It had to be Tuesday. Could be Monday because I had to get these bad boys out, which I get out tomorrow. Should I film that? Should I film myself taking out my stitches? You think? Maybe? Yeah, Gen T Max. Essentially, I would be not paying, because technically I'm not paying for it. It's a promotional thing that they want me to take part in so that they can be like, "Oh, we have these results from these happy customers." But essentially, they'd be motivating me to hold myself accountable, to adhere to the protocol that they're giving me. They're just handing me a PDF full of diet shenanigans. If it's not on the list, I don't need it. And making me go to class 3 times a week at minimum for like an hour each time. And it's some tough cardio, which I'm not opposed to. And I'm not unused to. I mean, I'm a black belt in Taekwondo. I've done this before. It's just going to be like, an uphill battle. Because I haven't been doing as much cardio in my gym routine as I have been. I've been doing more muscle focused exercises, really. And heart rate training, basically. So I can get myself up to like 180 for a solid 10 minutes, which is, heart attack rates for anyone older than me by about 2 years. You're right. He would have us doing morning marches every day if we were all close enough. Yeah. I have been doing better, though. I have been doing really good about holding myself accountable to stuff. And I have lost weight. I have seen the south side of 160, which is really nice. Very happy about that. Now, the challenge is maintaining that in the face of my family, who they're very supportive about the idea of me losing weight, but at the same time, they enable me to do the things that do not help me lose weight. So what that means is we go out to be with family to like an Italian restaurant. And they go, oh, you can have an appetizer, you can have soup and salad, here's your entree, and then we cannot forget dessert. Plus, oh, are you drinking? Why are you not drinking, Weebo? Are you pregnant? No, I'm not pregnant. I'm just not drinking because it's empty carbs, and I don't want to blow my diet. So now I have an actual reason to not drink. It's not on my list. So 6 weeks. And you know what? You know what's going to make it really hard is that the 6 weeks, Thanksgiving falls within that 6 weeks. Yes, Old Man Enfield. Try some of this table full of meats, cheeses, dips, 7-layer salads, dessert cookies, non-frosted brownies, and frosted brownies because we like variety in this family. So it's kind of like an oxymoron, Like, be healthy, but also let's invite you to something once a week where you can indulge in all of life's greatest pleasures and undo all of the progress that you've made in an entire week so far. So now I have a legitimate reason to be a party pooper. Well, I mean, I already had a legitimate reason, but now I have incentive and a legitimate reason and a whole bunch of people holding me accountable that I can go and say, nope, sorry, Mr. Gym Man person, John, says I cannot do the thing, so therefore I cannot do the thing. And also I told El Boyfriendo to withhold pizza from me for the next 6 weeks. So yeah. No fun for Weebo. And just in time for the holiday season, I'm going to be a miserable sack of shit, people. And I'm taking you all with me. I think I'm going to channel all of this angry, nervous energy into, let's see, being an asshole to people on the internet. No, not being an asshole. Being an asshole is probably the right word for it. Being an asshole to people, but for good reason. Being an asshole to people that deserve my ire. I think that's what I'm going to do with all this energy. So I'm going to be like, no, sorry, I am busy with my other shenanigans. And I think also the cardio is going to help too. I'm excited. I don't know if I'm going to do it yet. I want to check out the class, but I'm like 80% convinced that this is something that I'm going to take part in. I mean, it's 6 weeks of free personal training, essentially. You kidding me? Yeah. Yeah. Gen T Maxi. So the next Magog stream, pay her in Halloween candy. Please, please no. Please no. Please no. I beg of you. I'm gonna be my best self. That's what I'm working towards here. I want to be my best self. I want it all. I want to be capable, strong, young woman, capable of running like a mile in 12 minutes, maybe 11, we'll see. And I want to have that rockin' bod. Because I really want to. I really want to. It's something that I have aspired to have for the last 2 years, and I've been working towards it. And I haven't been able to achieve it on my own. But if I can get in the habit of doing it, like over the course of 6 weeks, I know I can maintain it. Because really, I've never had formal training in anything to do with fitness. I've just kind of been winging it. That hasn't worked for me yet. Unfortunately. I'm not an expert. And I know for a fact I'm probably going a lot easier on myself than I should be. I mean, with the exception of the Stairmaster for half an hour straight, that has been brutal on me. But it is so fulfilling when you're done. When you work yourself up to 30 minutes straight, no breaks, on the Stairmaster, just constant. Woo! Yeah, Care to Bear, I want that spicy bod. I want it. I'm going for it. I'm gonna get it. I'm ready and willing, able. Let's go! And it's not gonna be because I did steroids. No, but I feel really good about this. I have felt really good about this. Remember all the way back earlier in the year when it was Lent, and I was like, yeah, hopefully this is gonna help me lose all the weight. Well, it did work, but then I went to my cousin's wedding, and then July hit. Well, June hit, then July, then August, and September kind of put a dent in all of my fitness plans. I mean, I still went to the gym, but no progress was made. But yeah, I'm gonna get my beach bod just in time for winter. No, actually, the gym guy, when I consulted with him on Friday afternoon. Was it Friday? No, Saturday. Yesterday. That was yesterday. When I consulted with him, he said, at your current weight, I don't think we're going to lose 20 pounds over the course of 6 weeks. First off, that's super unhealthy. Second off, at my size, it's not feasible. Sorry, it's not. What we're going for is to lose 6% body fat. So, yeah. We shall see. Yeah, no, it's... The workouts won't be actually at, like, a gym with machines. It'll be at a gym with a bunch of punching bags. So not only am I getting fit, but I'm also learning skills and honing my Taekwondo skills so I can kick ass all the better. How do you measure body fat? Okay, so there's a very special skill that sends some sort of signal through your body from your feet, like from your toes to your hands, and you hold on to the sensor bits and you step on the sensor bits so that those sensors travel all throughout your body, reading your body fat, and based off of what those sensors send back to the machine, it tells you how much body fat that you have. Brad Young says, for your height, 10 pounds should look like a good bit. No offense, men. I'm a fat man. The goal is to lose about 30 pounds. Most of that weight is actually carried right here. I'm not going to lie. It is. It's right here, and it's right here in the hips. And that's where I carry my weight, unfortunately. I mean, fortunately, because, I mean, it's to my advantage because I'm accentuating those womanly aspects. I don't look horrible. But I don't look like the way that I want to, if that makes sense. And here's the other thing, too. I have to get myself used to the idea that achieving my body weight won't necessarily achieve the body shape that I want to. That's another thing. So I could be sacrificing one aspect of something that I am happy with for an aspect that I would like to achieve being happy with, if that makes sense. I think that makes sense. Daniel Fullman, will you be doing all those weird new exercises like flipping tractor tires, swinging a sledgehammer, or waving thick ropes? No, it's strictly just kickboxing. So it's a lot of cardio in that way. And part of the incentive for getting into a fitter state of body also is with the preparation in mind of like, hey, I have some major life events coming up, presumably. Eventually, I want to have kids. I want to be my healthiest for when I have kids, too. Meryl Davis says, well, you can and should tone your body. Absolutely, 100%. That's probably what's going to happen more so than the weight loss. I'll still hopefully be losing some amount of weight, but most of the focus will be on building muscle, which naturally just melts the fat. Not naturally melts the fat, but takes the place of fat that has previously existed. Brad Young says, all jokes aside, smaller boobs will save your back over the years. I know several women who've had reductions and the pain relief was nearly instant after healing up, of course. Yes. I've actually known a woman who got a breast reduction. She was like size G, I think. It was either G or double G. I think that's how the measurement goes, but she was a G cup at the very least. She got herself taken to a C cup, but the the hoops and ropes that she had to jump through and climb over in order to get that covered by insurance was excessive. I mean, this woman had to spend hours and hours at the gym trying to lose weight. She had to lose a certain amount of weight to prove that, hey, this is just where her body chose to distribute all the fat. And there's no way to really get rid of that, apparently, no matter how much working out that she does. And so eventually they approved her to have a breast reduction, and she got a C cup, and she's happy with it. And so I'm like, if I could achieve a C cup, I'd be happy with that. If I could achieve a D cup again, I'd be happy with that too. Dana Fleming says muscle is heavier once you gain weight. That is a possibility. Yeah, definitely distinct possibility. But I look at it as long as I'm doing something, that makes a visible difference in some way, either numerically speaking or physically speaking, I'm happy with it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you can do both. You can gain muscle and lose weight. It's not impossible. It's just a little tougher, Weebo would be a great mom. She's gonna teach your kids to kick ass. I already have the experience, trial experience. So yeah, I already do know that I'll be a great mom. That is the hope. I can't be any worse. I can't be any worse than my mom was. God, that's such a huge thing to say. I know a lady whose bra straps were cutting into her collarbone. Yeah, I feel that. This bra, it's comfortable for this area, but not for this area. It sucks. Okay, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're at 8:05. I am officially 4 minutes and 28 seconds over the time that I initially established as the end of this show. Woo! And just in time for an autumn thunderstorm. Sorry, I'm super excited about that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out tonight and joining me in this lovely endeavor that we call Conversations with Weebo. cocktail hour. We had fun. I barely drank my drink. That's what happens. It's a natural consequence of talking my brain off for an hour straight. Oh well. But anyway, thank you so much for coming out, for joining me, for talking with me, for having a gay old time as we discuss this thing called life and all shenanigans. Tune in next week. Hopefully, Polly will have a working microphone by then. If not, I don't know what we're talking about next week. Maybe I'll just schedule it so that we can do something fun, something extra special. Oh, before I go, ladies and gentlemen, let me get back to the profile of mine. Before I go, I want to endorse and shill a tweet that I made many moons ago. Many moons ago. It is the debate topic tweet. Please go to this tweet and give us all of your stupidest debate topic ideas and assign myself or Polyself the pro position on the topic. So essentially it's like waffles are better than pancakes is the example that I will give because it is one of the things. So waffles are better than pancakes. Polly in the affirmative. Something like that. Format it like that. Send it off. Because Polly and I are eventually going to do the debate stream. I promise you it will happen. I am compiling the debate topics as we speak, along with the different assignments for who is in the affirmative. Trust me, I got it. And then I'm going to work on the graphics. I already have an artist making the debate versus graphic. So eventually that will get done too. And it's going to be a hoot and a half. It'll be a good time. Trust me. Anyway, so please don't share them with me here. Put them in the tweet replies. Or if you want to, you can also email me the tweet. Or not tweet. Email me the debate topics and who's in the affirmative to my email. I think it's listed down below. If it's not, I will put it in the chat. My business email. Yep, that's the business email. a hoot and a half, if you will. Yes, indeed. So that's the only thing that I really want to show. Other than that, check out the video when it goes live on let's see, late Monday, early Tuesday. And keep your eye open for that Halloween special. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I have been your host, Weebo Jones. Polydub has been in the chat somewhere with a broken microphone. Please donate to get him a better microphone because we need Poly. Otherwise, we get more instances of just me rambling on and on and on and on and on for an hour and 8 minutes. Anyway, thank you so much. I will see you next week, same time, same place. With an otter, same face. And have a nice week. Bye, ladies and gentlemen.